In today's video, I spend 2 days in the Lake District following professional photographers' advice. Stick around till the end of the video to see all of the images captured over the 2 days. Well, good morning, welcome to another video. So currently, I don't know where you're going, mate. Where are you going? So I'm just out and about in a woodland in the Lake District. I've come down from Scotland for the weekend and it's Easter, bank holidays, and it's quite quiet actually at the moment. But I'm here in Torver, which is just outside of Coniston, and I know of this birch and oak woodland which is nearby, right on the southern tip of Coniston. And yeah, out to have a bit of an explore and put that professional advice to the test from Thomas Heaton. So at the moment I'm struggling to find any sort of compositions at the moment. The sun has risen, it's probably been risen for about an hour, but it is tucked behind some clouds, unfortunately. So I'm just walking around the other side of the road where more of the birch is, because I do prefer birch trees, just with the contrasty sort of white and black side it's got on it, it really stands out. But yeah, so sort of topic of today is related to a video that Thomas Heaton put out probably about a week ago now, just about getting out for sunrise, you know, when we all do the same sort of habits as I mentioned, looking at the weather, then you sort of stay up all night, you watch films or something like that, and then you're like, oh, well, what happens if the weather's not very good, and you convince yourself to not come out. But I did sort of a step further, I didn't even check anything, just came out anyway, regardless of what the weather would be like, just because it's nice to get out. So it's quite nice at the moment actually. It's really quiet, there's no one about, and for the meantime I'm just sort of out on a walk really, which is quite nice. I've been to this woodland before, probably about 2 years ago, and back then, I mean, I didn't do any filming or anything like that. This is all brand new still, but I was with the Canon 6D, that's what I had back then. Still does the job to this day, but I've got the Sony A7R3 now at the moment. But yeah, it's quite nice actually. There's absolutely no one around. And I'm testing this little thing that I'm playing with right now. I've got in my hands this Osmo Pocket 3. It's doing a fairly good job at the moment, so I'm pretty happy with that. This is probably a similar kind of shot to what I've done before. When I was here a couple of years ago, probably got all of these birch trees in some sort of formation. But now I've just come down the hill down here, I've noticed that this line of rocks is sort of like a ridge line, just sort of leading into all the birch trees there. Might look quite nice as a foreground. Bit of foreground there, leading into the birch. Oh my goodness. And as I say, the lights, it's not here, but I'm not really here just for the light and just for photography really. Need to get into that sort of mindset of getting out for the sake of getting out, like we probably all used to do before we even picked up cameras. But regardless of the fact, it's still a peaceful morning. So as you can see here, I've got sort of ridge line coming through underneath there, and it sort of arches round and into the frame there. Now because I'm videoing on the camera at the same time, it's not got the right crop that I've actually set up, But I do quite like the organisation of trees there, you know, there's nice separation between them all. You know, it's a cloudy day, it's not the best conditions, but in terms of compositionally, I think it's quite a nice little setup there. So I don't need to focus stack. I'm at f9, I believe I'm going to be at on the camera at the moment. It's at 6.3 just because I'm filming, but when I get all my shots right, ISO 100. And yeah, let's see how this one is. So I've come just a little bit further up the hill just to see, because there is a branch that's coming out on this left, 3 birch trees coming across here to sort of create a little bit of a gap. The birch tree in the background there. As I say, the crop on the camera for video, it's not showing the entire scene, so it's usually a bit wider than that. But yeah, so there's 2 shots of this. They're both vertical. They're both actually going to be shot at f11, ISO 100. I think they're down to about 1/5 of a second. And yeah, let's see how those ones are and let me know which one's the best one. So I'm just about to head back now. I've only taken those couple of photos, but tomorrow I am planning on going to White Moss, which is just north of Ambleside. Underneath this tree here. Yeah, it's been nice to be out. I've not seen a single person. I've seen a few cars go by, but that's it, you know. Really nice and quiet, really relaxing. I'm sort of trying to take the advice from professionals, not being a professional myself, I'm just doing this for fun. But, you know, with the video with Thomas Heaton, getting out and about for sunrise, you know, not worrying about it, just getting out there, because you never know how the conditions will be. Today's been okay, but I've come out anyway, and it's good for you, getting out in nature and exploring. So I'm going to do that again tomorrow. I'm probably not going to plan it actually, as in I've planned the location, White Moss, but I'm not going to look at the weather, because that will probably not motivate me if it's going to be absolutely rubbish. But Easter weekend tends to be quite nice. At least it has been for the past few years, so fingers crossed. Well, good morning and welcome back to the next morning in White Moss, which I did mention I was going to come to White Moss. Very rushed start at the moment. I'm by Ride and Water, and I found this tasty little composition. So there's this reflection coming on with the tree here, which is looking quite nice. Oh, there we go. So I'm popping away some shots really quickly because I've not got much time before the sun really does rise, and there's been some fog in the water, but here we go, and a nice rush start already. Now let me just talk to you a little about the comp that I've got. I've had a little play around for a few minutes, and so looking at the water here, as I've got lined up in the frame here, the sky cuts in where you can see the zebra lines there if I go landscape, and this is as tall as a tripod will go, so I can't quite fit the top of the tree to stop cutting in with the land at the other side, which is slightly annoying, even though I've just bought this tripod. And if I go portrait, it ends up being a lot better. I'm able to cut out more of the sky, so I'll just do an example here. So if I do it that way, I can cut out more of the sky. So I think I'm going to go for a portrait shot, get that back on the tripod again, and yeah, if this shot's any good, here's a shot. this morning, so far so good. Yeah, so I'm currently just in White Moss, having a little walk around. Don't really actually know what I'm looking for, to be honest. I'm just sort of seeing where the light takes me, you know. I mean, look at it over there. It's absolutely incredible. And this little toy that I've got in my hand is doing absolutely cracking work. So I'm really happy with this purchase at the moment. Especially with this little mic as well, it seems to be quite good quality. Now, one teething problem, I say a teething problem, but one thing I've got, what I need to test is the internal recording on this microphone, so I can then basically be in my composition if I'm in a woodland or somewhere using this main camera and having the mic record the audio. But apart from that, it's doing absolutely cracking stuff. So what, I'm in White Moss, I've just come across this river, and as you can see from the composition I've got on the screen, it's not bad, but it's not the final crop because the video on the camera is not the crop format that I've got for when I take stills. But you can kind of see the gist of what we've got going on here. So you've got the rock in the foreground here, and then it's sort of all the water running through the frame here, but then there's also the nice oak tree at the back. Now the only issue that I'm having is these sort of branches dropping down here. There's no gap to sort of stop this and sort of move to the left or move to the right, and I like the rock in the foreground there, so I may have to do some editing in post to get rid of that. But this one is quite nice. I'm at f14, I'm doing 1/4 of a second, which is bringing the water to a nice sort of dreamy look. And yeah, everything's looking quite sharp, so I'm focusing about halfway through the frame, roughly about here, and that's enabling everything to be sharp. I've had a few shots and tested which one's the best, and that seems to work for me. And I'm at 28mm as well on the lens, so yeah, really good morning this. So that advice from Thomas Heaton is really paying off, getting up nice and early, and it's an hour earlier this morning than what it was yesterday, so it's even more brutal, but I'm very happy that I'm here. So now it's about 8:30 now, and the sun has very well risen. Open the gate at the same time, multitasking. There we go, look at that. Yeah, so I'm having a nice little walk around now. I'm coming to the top end of White Moss, which is sort of heading towards Grasmere, so I think I'm going to start wrapping up and calling it a day. But it's been a different couple of days, so that advice, getting up nice and early, and I didn't even check the weather once again. I kind of had a feeling it would be nice weather because it was a really clear night, and as I said before, Easter usually is quite a nice weekend for the weather. But it's been cracking. I've been up really early, but I feel good getting out and about. So that's really what it's all about. And I think I've managed to take some nice photos, but I won't know until I get them onto the PC and have a look. But thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll do all that slideshow stuff at the end of this video. You'll be able to have a good look at all the photos that I've taken over the past couple of days. More today than there is yesterday, to be honest. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.